guys. So tonight we're talking about social media and we're trying to answer the question, how does my identity in Christ affect how I use social media? So to start us off, I'm going to share my last 3 posts on Instagram, the captions that I put with it, and then I want to share a little bit behind the scenes of why I was posting these. So the first one is a picture of a flower and it says, "Hi Spring." And the surface level of why I posted this picture is because I was really happy that spring was here. And I also thought it was a cool photo. But the deeper level is that I kind of wanted people to think that I was a really good photographer. And I also kind of wanted people to wonder where I was. Where was I going for a walk? And maybe who was I with on my walk? The second picture is with my cousin Sarah. And the caption is, "Sarah Saturdays." And part of the reason I posted this picture is because I had an awesome weekend with my cousin. We went on a beautiful hike, we ate great food, and we had a wonderful conversation. And part of me just really wanted to document this moment. But I also really wanted people to see that I have people in my life that I love and who also really love me. The third picture is a picture of a guitar and it says, "Learn to play the G chord today and to tune." And part of the reason I shared this is because I wanted people in my life to know that I'm learning to play the guitar and I really love it. On Thursdays, my friend Seth is giving guitar lessons at the Henning House, and I love the people, I enjoy the experience. But I also kind of wanted people to think, Lindsay's really cool and she has all these fun hobbies. So in each of these photos, there was kind of the surface level reason that I was posting, but then there was the deeper level. And I kept wondering, is there a third level? Is there a more spiritual reason, a deeper reason that I'm posting all of these pictures? And so I went for a walk with my friend Seth, and I was sharing about this talk, and he looks at me and just casually goes, "Well, yeah, we post on social media because we want to be known and loved." And I looked at him and it just hit me like a rock. Like, yeah, that's exactly why I post. I want to be known and loved. And so as we're talking about social media, I want to start by saying I don't think it's a bad thing. I actually really love it. Like I shared, I love posting pictures of what I'm doing in my life. The problem is that when we use social media backwards, it's just like any tool in our life. If we're not using it for its purpose, it can become a bad thing. So I want to use a diagram that I came up with to help us understand how we're using social media and then how we can flip it and use it differently. So here's my diagram. So right now when we start, social media really doesn't have any purpose or mission statement. They kind of tell you, you can use it for whatever you want, however you want. You can post pictures about politics, you can post pictures about your cat, you can post a quote or a new song you're listening to. There is freedom in whatever you want to do. And so what happens is that we just start posting pictures. We start posting pictures of quotes, of our cat, of a flower, of a song we heard, about politics, whatever we choose to post. And what happens is then we start crafting our identity. And the identity we are crafting is based on an appearance that we are choosing to share with people. I'm only choosing to share certain things on social media, and usually, most of the time, it is the best parts of me. And the other part is that other people are only sharing the best parts of their lives, the highlights. And so we start crafting an identity based off of our posts. And what happens is that what we're really searching for is to be known and loved. Just like Seth said, that's our desire when we're posting. The problem is that this can't happen because this isn't happening. We're not being truly vulnerable. We're not being truly ourselves or authentic. We're not letting people see all of us, and we're not seeing all of other people. And so what happens is instead of being known and loved, it's leading to more isolation and loneliness. And we know this, right? I was talking to a friend of mine this week, and she told me that she's giving up TikTok. And when I asked her why, she said a friend of hers asked her how she felt after 20 or 30 minutes on TikTok. She said, I kind of feel gross. I feel like I wasted hours of my life. I could have been doing something better. When I talked to another friend, she said that she was really hurt because her best friend is really addicted to social media. And so when they go for walks, she's walking the dog with one hand and she's scrolling through social media on the other. And my friend said, it's so hard because I'm trying to have a conversation with her, but it feels like I'm talking to a wall. She's not even listening to me. And sometimes I throw out funny or goofy things to say just to check if she's paying attention, and she's usually not. The other thing is that even the CEOs of the corporations that made these social medias are saying what we made to build connection is actually leading to more loneliness and isolation, that this is not working. So what we need to do is we need to start somewhere else. We need to flip this. Now in this diagram, we're actually starting from a different place. We're beginning knowing that we are known and loved by God. That He knows us fully and He completely loves us. And this is actually true, and it's written about even in the Bible. In Psalm 139, David is writing this poem about how much God knows him, even since the beginning of time. Before he was even born, God was thinking about him. And behind all his thoughts, God actually knows what's going on in his heart. And so as I was reading this psalm, I was trying to summarize each sentence and try and put it in our terms today. And what I found was that each sentence felt like it could be applied to social media and how we feel about it. So I want to read you this social media poem that I came up with. So this is based off of Psalm 139. Good God, you see it all. You see everything about us, the good and the bad. Behind all the posts, before there ever was a post. Our caption before we think it. You're always with me. You're in every photo. You're even in the things I don't want to share. You really know me, inside and out, more than I could ever share, more than anyone could ever see. You give me all the likes when you look at me. Lift my head to look to you and not my phone. Help me to see the evil powers that entice me. Search my heart, Lord, and all the reasons I want to hit share. Test it so it will bring glory to you alone. And so this is where we start. This is the truth of who we are, that we are known and loved by God. And that is actually our identity. That's who you are at your core, is known and loved by God, and that cannot change. No matter how many likes you get, no matter how many shares you get or followers you have, that does not change. That is your identity. And the thing is that we know that, but we still want to be known and loved by others, right? I still want human relationships. I still want to connect with other people. And the reason is that we were built for that. That's actually what we were made for, to be in relationship with God and to be in relationship with others. And the cool thing is that the best CEO in the entire universe created something just for that. And it's called the church. That is the mission statement of the church, is that you would be known by God and you would be known by others. And it actually works because God created it just to do that. And the reason is that because when we know that we are known and loved and accepted by God, we can actually go and know and love others. We can really be vulnerable with them. We can be honest about how life is really going. And so I want to give just a couple thoughts about what it means for us to be the church, to be in a community where we are known and loved by God and known and loved by others. And the first is you got to show up. You have to be there weekly and people to see you and get to know you, that they will finally know you better. The second is to be present. I think a lot of times we can come into church and have our mind be elsewhere, and oftentimes we just want to run out afterwards. But I encourage you to really be present. Maybe leave your phone in the car and really be in the moment and get to know other people that you're sitting around. Next is to get to know people outside of the time and to ask really good questions. That you would maybe go for coffee or have dinner with a family and you'd really ask them about their life and really how they're doing. And the flip side of that is that you would be vulnerable and you'd share. That we would actually share with people the good and the bad in our life. That we wouldn't try and hide behind social media posts. That we would let them see us and know us. And next is that we would pray and we'd invite. That God created the church to not just be in ourselves, but to actually go out and invite others in. And so I encourage you to be praying for people in your life who may seem like they are lonely, they are isolated, and pray that they would come to be known by God and to be known by others. And here's the really cool thing with this diagram, is that when we are known by God and have this identity, and we are being the church together, God calls us to actually go out. That we have this new mission statement, right? Over here, there's no purpose for why you use social media or you use any of the tools. But over here, God actually gives you a mission statement, a purpose statement for your life. That when your identity is in Him, your purpose is to love God, love others, and to make disciples. And now you have a really cool opportunity with all of the tools that you've been given in your life, specifically social media, to do that. And you get to be really creative with what that looks like. Maybe it's posting a fun picture. Maybe it's sharing a Bible verse. Maybe it's telling someone that they are known and loved, or a way that you could invite others. But God allows you to be really creative with it. But I'd encourage you to think about, how can I use social media? Not for a platform for myself, not a way that I can build my own identity, but how is social media a tool that I am loving God, loving others, and making disciples?